Tell me more about this cake.
It is difficult to explain. Counselor Troy's body was a cake.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fully Functional Teen G Podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are veteran Trekkies, and Dory is a newly minted full Trekkie. We're taking her on her first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. And we continue our way down the home stretch. Season 7, Episode 6, named Phantasms. Original air date is October 23rd, 1993. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Dory, just to interject before you start, I am legit excited to hear what you think about this very unique episode.
Okay, so we start with Data walking down the hall and just like actually multiple shots of Data going down the hall. It's like borderline creepy. And then Geordi is just like randomly standing in the middle of the hall, and Geordi's like, Data, you gotta go do this stuff and then meet me in engineering. And Data just kind of walks away, and then Geordi yells out, this ought to be a lot of fun. And I wrote, that sounds like a threat. And immediately I wrote, dream, ? And then we hear a phone ringing in the distance. And we come across these, like, I called them old-timey prospector guys.
I mean, they're like 19 or 1800s miners.
Yeah. So they've like made a hole in the wall and are quote unquote dismantling a warp plasma conduit. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, this one line, after watching this episode a few hours ago, they literally said what the problem was in this one line.
Yeah.
I did not remember that. Okay. So Data then he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Stop. And he opens his mouth and this high-pitched screech comes out, and it is honestly horrible. Like, I assume dogs can hear that. I mean, people can hear it, but like, I'm sure if there's any dogs in my neighborhood, they were just like, what the fuck was that? Yeah. So then like these old prospector guys, it comes over and like he rips off Data's arm and they push him down on the ground and they start to tear him apart. And then Data sits up in bed, and that was a nightmare. And I just wrote, Data, welcome to my life. I dream almost every night. And a lot of the times they're nightmares. So welcome, Data. Okay. So this is where we are now. Okay. Commander LaForge has completed the installation of their new warp core. They are preparing to test its capabilities. So Picard has got bad news. He has been invited again to the annual Starfleet Admirals Banquet. And Riker goes, my condolences. Picard has managed to avoid the ball for the past 6 years, but no longer is able to do so. So Riker and Picard are all like huddled together, like whispering about this. And Picard's like, oh, this is going to suck. And I was like, I kind of would have liked to see this as an episode. This ball. I like to see everyone dressed up. Okay, so now this is the dialogue. This is the scene between Picard and Riker. Picard goes, 50 admirals, shaking hands, making dull conversation, uninteresting food, boring speeches. And then Riker says, can't you think of some excuse to get out of it? And then Picard says, after 6 years, number one, I don't think I have any excuses left. And Riker smiles, and so did I. And I then wrote, how many of those 50 admirals are corrupt?
How many aren't?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're in engineering, and Data asks Geordi if he's ever had a nightmare. Geordi's like, yeah. Everyone has, man. Like, okay, Data.
Like, come on, who hasn't?
Yeah. And Data's like, yeah, in the last 9 months, I've had 111 dreams. Since they started using this dream program. And I did the math. 111 dreams in 9 months is not a lot.
No.
No, it's like once every couple of days.
Yeah, maybe that's not a lot to me, but
No, I mean, I only really remember my dreams once every couple of days.
Yeah.
and so so Data actually does. There's a couple things in this episode that Data does that to me really proves how far he's come along in terms of his humanity. And one of them is that he continues to talk about his dream to Geordi when Geordi is doing something else, which I think is like one of the most peak human things to do when you're telling someone about your dream and they're just like, hey, I'm like busy right now. Do we like, I don't have time to hear your fucking dream.
Yeah. After Geordi has clearly shown disinterest.
Yeah, Geordi is busy this episode.
I just really enjoy how Data is written in this episode in general.
Yes, this is a good Data episode. Like, honestly, okay, I wanted to save my thing for the end, but I actually did really like this episode. I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we meet Ensign Tyler, and she is new, I guess, in engineering, and she's like very pumped to be working with Geordi. And so Data says, Geordi, you do not seem to appreciate Ensign Tyler's enthusiasm. And then Geordi said, she's enthusiastic, all right, about me. And then Data goes, I do not understand. And Geordi says, she's got a crush on me, Data. And Data says, you do not share her affection. Sorry, that's not a question. He goes, you do not share her affection. Like I had to direct myself in that. And Geordi says, exactly. And quite frankly, it's beginning to get a little bit uncomfortable. And I wrote, wow, how the turntables have turntabled, Geordi.
I wanted to make a joke about that, but I couldn't think of a really good one, so I'm glad that you noticed.
Yeah, that's literally almost every single Geordi story is him having a crush on some woman and then being like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Data's like, hey, I will intervene on your behalf. But Geordi's like, oh, actually, please don't.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, seriously, do not do this.
Yeah. So, okay, at this point, we have now seen 2 different scenes with people like huddled up and like talking quietly to each other. And I was like, I love this. This like screams of hot goss. And this was like a really good like bridge crew episode. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of everyone gets to sort of do a lot of shit, which is nice. Okay. And also to note, does Data think that if one person likes someone, automatically everyone's got to like them back? Because he seemed surprised to hear that. I mean, to be fair, it is Geordi.
Yeah.
Sorry, Geordi. But Data's like, oh, you don't like her back? I was like surprised.
I think Data doesn't understand. Data doesn't really understand what it is that Geordi doesn't like about her.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Because I wrote, I'm like, is this like, does Data think everyone that's into someone gets a shot with them, or like, is this based on the fact that Geordi is usually horny for everyone?
Like, I think the fact that it comes off that she's like 20-ish.
She does look really young.
Yeah, I think that would probably be one of the reasons. But
Yeah.
So
And
I guess that's
again,
growth for Geordi.
Yeah. Once again, Star Trek not caring about power dynamics, because if it were me, I'd be like, she's my subordinate. That is also something I am not interested in doing.
Yeah.
like dating a subordinate.
Yeah. Okay, Data wants to continue to talk more about dreams, but they're on the clock, and so they've got shit to do. So now we're doing the warp test. Take number 1. Does not work. And they do warp take number 2, and it basically shuts down the power. So it doesn't work again. So they able to get shit back up, but they need to reconfigure this plasma conduit, and it's going to take a couple hours at the very least. So then we cut to Spot lying on Data's bed, and it's very cute. And then we kind of pan a bit, and we see Data doing exactly what I do to almost every cat I meet. Being like 1 foot from their face.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate to admit it, but like, where's the fucking lie?
Yeah.
I love cats and dogs, and yeah, I literally, when I was watching this, I sent a message to my friend, and I was like, yeah, this is me and your cat. like very close up.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the door chimes and Spot looks. Data doesn't. It takes a second chime for Data to look at the door or acknowledge it rather. So it's Troy. She comes in and Data's just like, he's just watching Spot sleep, and he wonders what Spot dreams about. And Data's like, Spot's showing like some signs of anxiety in his sleep, but like, what does he have to worry about? There's like no other cats, there's no rats, there's no dogs, there's no bugs. So like, ooh, what? But yeah, I don't know. Listen, cats are gonna cat.
Yeah.
So Troy is visiting because Jordy was concerned about Data's nightmares, and
Also, sorry, I just thought about this right now. I'm sure Data has played with Spot. Like, he has one of those things on a string, balls and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
So
he plays with him in this episode with like a little fluffy thing.
Yeah, so Spot could be dreaming about chasing that shit. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a mouse or a bug or whatever.
Yeah, Data. Oh, okay. So Data is now considering initiating another dream sequence, and Troy says, Data, you don't have to be afraid of dark imagery in your dreams. It's natural expression. God, my writing for this is so horrible that this might be a bit of a struggle. It's natural expression of your unconscious, if you have an unconscious, which was kind of funny. But she's like, basically like, don't be scared of your dream, and go dream, I guess. So Data gets ready for bed, and by gets ready for bed, I mean he just gets into his bed full uniform, which I guess fine, I guess.
I actually very much wondered about that. Did he take his shoes off?
I didn't notice.
I don't know.
But my biggest qualm with this particular scene, he gets into his bed, which also kind of looks a bit like a sofa bed, and he does a weird job of fluffing up that weird one pillow, but he lies down and you can see the blanket, and on the outside it's just like this nice blue color, whatever, but the inside is just sequins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why would that be the inside one? That's the
I'm gonna chalk it up to just Data not knowing better, because like every
it looked, it wasn't even like, oh, it looks sparkly. It looked like legitimately like sequins. I'm like, that is wild choice.
I actually think I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's functional. I think it's supposed to be a sci-fi bed.
Yeah.
Well, I hate it. I can't tell you how much, like, watching that, it made like my skin crawl of the idea of having sequins on my skin as like a blanket on the inside part. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's a robot man, so it doesn't really matter. That's why I'm going with Data. Data doesn't know better, because every other time we've seen someone with a blanket, it's like that weird shiny one.
Yeah, they've had sparkles.
So, okay, so that's my in-universe explanation. Data just doesn't know any better. Here's my real-world guess. The shiny part was causing too much issues when they were filming, so they're like, fuck it, turn it around.
Oh, yeah, because the cat was on it.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Data gets in his bed, and he does this, like, exaggerated yawn, and then this was the worst part of the scene. He starts smacking his lips, and I hated that. I did not care for that. Okay, so now we cut to Data is in 10 forward, and we have a close-up on a piece of cake with the Starfleet logo, which I now realize is, in fact, like, I did initially think it was the communicator, but, like, I was like, oh, maybe they're just putting, like, the logo on, like, every Betty's piece, and now that thinking back on it, considering the location of this piece of where this cake came from, it's just the communicator.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we see the cake. We kind of go out, and it's Worf eating the piece of cake, and it is cellular peptide cake with mint frosting, and Worf is into this cake.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of adorable.
He just loves eating that cake.
Yeah. And it's not out of character, because he loved that, what was what was described as horrible pasta on Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah. Okay, so a phone rings and Data looks up and sees Dr. C and Riker at the bar. And Dr. C is just like drink what I called Riker's brain juice.
Yeah.
Really? I was going to say that Dr. C
Yeah,
was sucking
we're-
on Mr. Riker.
Yeah, we're coming up with some like this scene and another scene has some iconic Star Trek imagery.
I did not like this.
Cuz like no, she's drinking his brain juice but like through like a big straw too.
That's like
like
in his face.
Yeah, like a big
It's on
clear
the
straw
side of his face.
going into his temple.
Yeah, it
And,
is really
like-
upsetting.
Yeah, like a bubble tea straw. Like a big,
Yeah,
really thick.
it's
Drinking like Riker's pink brain juice.
it's
Fucking
pretty
hot.
horrible. So then Riker this comes up a lot. Riker is constantly yelling at Data to answer the phone. And so Data though continues and like through the 10 forward, and then he sees those prospector guys and they're kind of crowded around something, and Data opens his mouth and that horrible screeching comes up, and then one of the prospector guys hands Data a knife, and Data then gets closer to what they were all like standing around, and it is Troy as a cake, but it's her head, and then like her torso is a cake, and it's missing a single slice. And he starts to cut into her and she starts screaming.
But he cuts into her shoulder, which is important. Yeah.
Yes, this particular spot on her shoulder. And so then Data wakes up to Troy calling his name over and over, and in the room with her is also Worf and Geordi at the end of his bed. And they took him like a good few minutes to like wake him up, and they came in to check on him because he didn't show up in engineering. So Geordi does some tests, and like Data's internal clock, Data says that his clock was supposed to wake him up 35 minutes ago, but Geordi does some tests and really can't find anything wrong with Data's systems. So then Geordi wonders if like the new dream program, if it was like maybe meant for Data to like sleep in sometimes, which is kind of a wild thought there, but whatever.
I mean,
but
Dr. Sue was pretty disappointed that Data joined the Federation, so like he didn't expect him
He's
to have
like,
a
"I
job
did
like
this
this.
Yeah. Oversleeping is a human experience, so I could see that being a real possibility.
That's fair. Okay, so Data does not really want to tell Geordi about what he dreamt, and he's gonna just have some reflection, and then he'll report back. So now we cut to Data lying down on a couch in a fancy office, and I immediately I'm like, is this supposed to be Freud? And then Freud's asking Data some questions, and then he asks about the knife, and he's like, oh, it was like 25 centimeters. What did I do? I went to my cabinet and took out my bagel knife and I measured it, and I got a left because I was like, Data tried to cut a piece of Troy with a fucking bagel knife.
Yeah.
So that to me, bread knife for everyone else.
Yeah.
I know it as bagel knife. But, in my head canon is that Data tried to cut a piece of Troy with a bagel knife.
And the Freud, like the dialogue for the Freud characters being like super obvious, because he's like, oh, so only her top half was cake? And how long was the knife? Like all that stupid shit.
It was very strange. Like personally, I don't think dreams really mean anything.
No, the way they wrote this, they're very clearly making fun of Freud.
Yes.
The thing is that by the 90s, Freud had been thoroughly debunked, essentially, but he's just such an iconic figure in the history of psychology that, like, still one of those things.
I will now read this wild exchange with him and Data.
Yeah, and I think important to note, I think dream interpretation was a big part of his practice.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it would make sense that Data would go to someone who, like, that was their whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No worries. Okay, so Freud says, you're mechanistic qualities are trying to reassert themselves over your human tendencies, ego and id struggling for domination. The workmen symbolize the ever-present id constantly working to destroy the ego. Now, the image of Counselor Troy, a female, is devoured by you, clearly indicating an unconscious desire to possess your own mother. And then Data says, but I do not have a mother. And then Freud says, do not interrupt. The knife, in its violent connotation, suggests a certain feeling of sexual, oh my God, what did I write? Oh my God, my spelling is so bad. Inadequacy? Does that sound vaguely correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then Data says, but I have no sexual desire. And then Freud goes, impotence on top of everything. It is all coming clear to me now. There might be a paper in this.
Hey, man. Data says, hey, Data may not feel the desire, but impotence is not his problem.
Yep, he is. Say it together.
Functional.
Fully functional.
That's the Eugene podcast.
Yeah. And then Data says, I do not believe I am being helped by this session. And Freud said, classic transference. Your anger towards me is in fact the animosity you feel towards your father. There's a little bit more, but I'll cut it off there. But yeah, I had some laughs. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, but you know what? Freud might be accidentally right on that. I could see Data harboring some subconscious resentment towards Dr. Stone.
Yeah. Okay, so now back in the bridge. Admiral Nakamura calls to ask Picard his ETA because he was supposed to be there earlier for the banquet. And Picard's like, yeah, so we're having some warp issues, but I'm really totally, absolutely looking forward to this event. I will absolutely 100% be there. Don't worry about it. So now we do, Nakamura's like, sure. Okay. All right. We'll see you soon.
I just want to point out that this may be the only episode that places Picard in the position of the comic relief for basically the entire episode.
Yeah. Oh, I think this episode was directed by Patrick Stewart, wasn't it?
Really? Was it? I may have missed that part.
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't notice.
Let me see.
Yeah, directed by Patrick Stewart.
Wow.
Oh, wild.
That's hilarious.
Huh.
So Patrick Stewart decided to put himself in that role.
Well, I mean, he was written into that position. Patrick
sure.
Stewart didn't write it, but yeah.
Yeah.
There is surprisingly little background information on this episode, but I do have a wonderful story that I will save until later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now they do take 3 warp. It fails again. Oh no, Picard, looks like you maybe won't make it in time, or maybe your delay, your arrival at the banquet is now being delayed. Oh no, Picard, that's I'm so sad for you. And Geordi needs 2 to 3 hours to fix it. Oh no, but Picard, you're gonna be late. So Ensign Tyler reaches over to get something, and Data in engineering, and Data realizes, oh, Geordi hasn't spoken to her yet, and he's like, yeah, I've been busy. I'm like, Data, I know you've somehow found time to nap during this so far, but everyone else is kind of doing shit. It's a busy time right now. Yeah. Because it does feel like he's taking naps in the middle of the day.
Yeah. I don't know what his work schedule is, but
yeah. So this whole situation is very awkward with this ensign. So Data is then holding a knife, and he's this, it's not really a knife, it's some kind of piece from engineering, but I'm just gonna call it a knife for easiness sake, for my sake rather. And he's like, wow, this reminds me of a recent dream. And then a mouth opens on the back of Geordi's neck. Mm-hmm. I cannot express how much I hated that. It was disgusting. So now Data starts hearing this ring again, and Riker now has a straw just in his head. That's it. Dr. C's not there. He's got a rogue straw in his head.
Yeah, he's just walking around.
Yeah, and he's yelling at Data to answer the phone. So Data then opens a compartment in his chest, and there's an old-timey rotary phone.
Yeah.
Just, sitting in there, and he answers the phone, and it's Freud. And he's he's telling Data to kill everyone before it's too late.
And Data with the phone in his chest is another sort of iconic image from this episode.
And then Data kind of wakes up and he's holding the knife by his head like the phone. So yeah, waking dream now. So Data goes to Troy and she's like, listen, if you were one of my human patients, I would be concerned. So we might be looking at like technical problems. And Data is actually like very psyched at Troy's suggestion that like he might be developing neurosis. And she's like, I'd like to see you regularly. He's like, every day or daily? She's like, no, like every week or something. Like, I don't know, we'll figure something out. But she's like, you should turn off the dream program in the meantime. So he's like, all right, that sounds great. So now we got to Picard talking to Admiral Nakamura, telling him, oh yeah, so we're having malfunctions. But Nakamura is like, Picard, like the vibe is Picard, this is like you are the boy who cried wolf of not attending banquets. And now like don't know that like they're really buying this. And I do think it is very funny that by this point I'm like, so the whole B plot is just Picard not wanting to go to this event.
Yeah.
Which is honestly pretty funny. So Picard is now like back in engineering and he's just like hovering over Geordi and Data. And Geordi's like, fucking please don't touch anything. And thankfully Tyler does read the room and she's like, Picard, come help me with this thing. And so Geordi's like, great, that's out of my hair. And then he turns and Data's now gone too.
And that's so the last you ever hear of Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh, classic. So now we are with Troy in a hallway and it's very like horror movie. I do not like it. And then we have this like shot that like goes right into her, like that faces like the back of her, and so you have this beautiful shot of her beautiful hair. And then she gets into the turbo lift, the doors are closing, and then like Data sticks his hand in the doors before they fully close, and he gets into the lift. And he's like, Troy, hold still. And then he holds the knife and like starts stabbing her for real.
Yeah.
In her shoulder, in the spot where he cut the piece of cake. And he's just fucking stabbing him. It is given Psycho vibes. Like the movie, not like the term. So now we're seeing in like a different space in the hallway, Riker and Worf walking down the hallway, and Riker apparently gave Alexander a music program, and he's playing it all the fucking time. And I just wrote, LOL, jazz. And then Worf says it is screeching, pounding dissonance. It is not music. And then Riker goes, Worf, it's better than music. It's jazz. And I was like, there we go. There we go. How did I know? And then the doors open for the lift, and Data is standing over Troy, who's unconscious on the floor with a stab wound in her shoulder, and Riker and Worf sort of like subdue. Well, Riker goes to Troy, Worf subdues Data, but Data's not really like fighting. He's just like, wait, what the fuck has just happened? And here's a tiny. You know what? No, we'll come back to this. I have a little like qualm, but we'll do that when we finish the recap. So Data then says Troy had a tiny mouth on her shoulder and he had an uncontrollable urge to destroy it. So Picard's like, cool, you're relieved of duty right now and you're gonna be confined to your quarters for the time being. And Data's like, cool, lead the way, I guess. So
he's like, yeah, fair, Troy, I get it.
Yeah, he's like, I get, yeah, that's, yeah. So Troy then wakes up in sickbay, and Dr. C is like, yep, your wound has healed, but there's like a rash for some reason, and there's some kind of like residual interphasic signature. And then I wrote, I have to assume at this point that whatever is preventing the ship from warping is what is causing Data's dreams. Okay, so now in Data's quarters, Data asks Worf to take care of Spot because he's scared he might harm him. And Worf goes, Spot, come here. Spot does not move.
Yeah.
And I did notice Worf was like holding the cat, and Worf has huge hands.
Yeah.
Like the way he was holding the cat, it like overlapped. I was like, wow, that is a big hand.
Yeah.
Or those are big hands.
Yeah, because Worf is like holding the cat like under the front two like legs and like up and holding Spot very far away.
Yeah, so his like back legs are down.
But yeah, his fingers like interlock around the back of Spock. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And like,
okay, so
he's
then,
a tiny cat, but still.
Yeah. So then Data says, goodbye, Spot. He will, and then turns to Worf, and he's like, he will need to be fed once a day. He prefers feline supplement number 25, and he will require water. And you must provide him with the sandbox, and you must talk to him. Tell him he's a pretty cat and a good cat. And then Worf just stares at him and goes, I will feed him.
Yeah. And like between each of those sentences, like Worf is about to turn away and Data like...
Yeah, it just keeps like grabbing his arm.
Yeah.
And to me, this was the most human Data's ever been to me. Of saying, tell him he's a pretty cat and a good cat. Because like, that the only thing that was missing is him saying it in a high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
I thought it was slightly overacted, but it was very funny.
No, I'll take it.
Okay with
I enjoyed it. I loved it. It is truly peak human of like, wait, let me give you all the details for what to do with my pet that I love so much.
Maybe it's... Yeah, maybe technically it is overacted. Like, maybe like it doesn't quite fit Data, but I think it's perfect for the moment.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I have no notes. So Worf then like walks out of the room holding the cat out, and then he sneezes, and I was like, oh, is Worf allergic to Spot? But all I could think about was like, Alexander is gonna love this because Worf is likely gonna hate this. Okay, so then Dr. C calls Picard and Riker into sickbay, and they learn that something is kind of alive in Troy's shoulder. And then she shows that, oh, there's another like little guy on her jacket sleeve, and there's a little guy on Riker's face where Data kept seeing the straw, and there's a little guy on Picard's neck. And so these little guys are extracting the crew's cellular peptides. If not removed soon, their bodies are going to lose all their cellular cohesion, and they will collapse into nothing but a few pounds of chemicals. Yeah, they actually have no idea how they got there, what to do with it. They're just like, ugh. And so, okay, at this part, we're having a big group meeting, and there's a shot that's for like a while. There's like the discussion, but Dr. C is leaning on the back of Picard's chair, and I just wrote in my note, put it in the Louvre. So they do know though that everyone sort of seems to be affected by this, these little guys, but Data is not infected. And so Geordi and Picard explain to Data basically what is going on, and Data's like, oh, that would basically explain everything. Sure, well, I'll allow it. But Geordi wants to link Data's neural net to the holodeck so they can observe his dreams and kind of put some stuff together and figure some shit out. And so then Picard is like, I suggest you should prepare for bed. Cut to Data sitting on a chair in the holodeck. Yeah. So like, what would he be preparing for bed? For Data, all he has to do is close his eyes and call it a day. Like, what? That was a bizarre line to put in. I know it's like, I think supposed to be like where they would have had a commercial break. But that is a wild thing to say for them to like cut to this. Yeah. But anyways, that's not that important, but it did bother me. Okay, so Picard and Geordi now follow Data into his dream into 10 Forward, where Troy, we're back to the sort of scene we saw a while ago. Troy is a cake, Worf is eating said cake, Dr. C is drinking Riker's brain juice, and Picard asks Data what kind of cake it is, and Data goes, it is cellular peptide cake. And then Worf, from farther into the room, just with cake in his mouth, yells, with mint frosting.
Yeah. Very important detail.
Yes. And so then I wrote, call Picard Robert Langdon the way he is looking for symbols. I know, it's very stupid. But yeah, they're basically, him and Geordi are like, is that a symbol? Could this mean this? So then Geordi answers, so Data's body phone, I don't know, starts to ring again. Geordi answers it, and he's like to Picard, it's for you. And it's just Freud being like, kill everyone. Jesus Christ. So now we are in Freud's office. The phone is, in fact, Freud's phone. And then I noticed immediately, I'm like, why is there... It's not a tapestry. That's a full-out rug on the wall. And why is there a rug on the couch? Like, that is an absolutely bizarre design choice.
Yeah. And I think some people do like hang up rugs, like Persian rugs and stuff like that. But
this was a very weird choice because it was two rugs literally overlapping with each other in the same spot. Like it looked weird. It did not look in place because, like, yeah, I've seen tapestries, I've seen rugs up on walls, but there's more of an aesthetic to it. This was just a rug on a wall in front of a rug on a couch. Why would you put a rug on a couch? That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So Freud then says, if I were to interpret my own appearance in this dream, I would say that I am the symbolic representation of Data's unconscious mind, trying to warn him about the dangers he perceives around him. Freud, like, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
So then Picard asks Freud how to kill all the little guys, and the phone starts ringing, and then Picard goes to reach for the phone, but Freud is like, no, don't be so literal. And then the workers bust in and shoot Freud. Which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd say, but here we go. Yeah. So then they move. Data's on this chaise that's has a rug. He's on the rug on the chaise, and the workers just like move the whole thing, and then they just tear the rug on the wall off the wall to reveal this like space with these red lights, and the workers are just like hitting the plasma conduit they installed with the new. It's very weird. They're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Did you notice throughout the episode the guy with the big hammer isn't actually hitting the wall? Like
I did notice that they're like it's not great miming of hitting shit. I did notice that. Yeah,
he's like pretending to hit the prop against the wall because I guess they gave him a real hammer and they were like, well, we gotta not damage our set, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Picard he's asking the workers questions, and he's like, who are you? And then they're like, they're enemies. So then Data decides to direct the attention to himself and incapacitates the workers with the high-pitched screech. This makes Data have an idea, and so then they wakes up, and Data asks Geordi to adjust his positronic subprocessor to emit an interphastic pulse. The workmen in his dreams represent the organisms on the ship that are trying to destroy the ship. They're the little guys. And so if Data can produce a high enough frequency what did I write? Interphasic? Okay, that's what I'm assuming I wrote, because I cannot read that, but I'm just going back to similar writing that I wrote before. Pulsate will have a similar effect on the little guys. So Dr. C will monitor the creatures and everyone in sickbay or whatever and see what the reaction is. Well, they do it, and it's fine. Everyone's fine. And so then Geordi does explain, but honestly... he explains how it got there. Basically, when they were on the planet, these little guys were in the core that they got from the planet. That's it, basically. Yep. And it fucked up it fucked up the warp core, and it was the ones played on with Data's dreams. So, but now they don't have this conduit anymore. So they are going to be stuck for at least 6 hours so they can manufacture a new conduit. And Picard's like, oh no, the banquet will be over by then. I'm so bummed to miss it. Oh gosh, that's so bad. But Geordi's like, oh, we can try to like speed the process up. Picard's like, no, safety first. That's what's most important to me always. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. So now we cut to Data in his quarters playing with Spot, and it's very cute. And Troy comes in and she's like, Data, all good. We're cool. And I've brought something for us to snack on. And she opens this package, and it is a Data cake.
Yeah.
And it's cursed. It is a cursed image of Data cake. And she hands him a bagel knife. And Data goes, I wonder, what would Dr. Freud say about the symbolism of devouring oneself? And then Troy goes, Data, sometimes a cake is just a cake. End of episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, this episode is a lot better than I remember it being.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It was, compared to what we've watched, considering like I have not enjoyed majority of what we've watched this season so far.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this. It was just the right amount of silly for me. I mean, I would have even gone more silly, but I enjoyed this. Like, it was, I think that both plots kind of, I mean, I do think that the B plot was like very dumb, but listen, I'll allow it. I do think that they were like connected decently. But here's my biggest thing. The crew never, or the writers rather, every time Data says there's a problem, no one takes it seriously. Everyone always seems to brush it off. They do like a preliminary thing, and Data's still like, I think there's a problem still. And everyone's like, it's fine, Data. And every single time it goes horribly wrong. And at this point, I feel like even if there doesn't show anything up in like the scans or whatever, the system checks, if Data is saying something is fucking wrong, maybe listen to him at this point, because the amount of times everyone's been like, Data, nothing's coming up weird in your system. And then he goes fucking homicidal on someone or does something freaking wild. I feel like we should have learned by now. Just listen to Data when he's saying something is fucking wrong. Yeah, because I feel like Troy would not have been stabbed had people listened to him. Thankfully she's fine.
Yeah, this also feels out of character for them too. Like, I feel like they usually would listen to Data about this stuff. But for this episode, for whatever reason, they're like, it's all in your head.
Because, like, I feel like they have done this not exact thing, but, like, when Data's like, there's something wrong, they're like, oh, you're fine, Data. We can't find anything, like, physically wrong. But he's like, yeah, but there's, like, something wrong. Yeah. And they're like, it's fine. So it was very frustrating to me on that point that, like, Data is, I love Data, but he can be an incredibly dangerous individual. Yeah. You know? And he has the capabilities to cause some actual destruction. And no one seems to really remember that.
Yeah, this is not the first time that he has been manipulated to cause harm.
Yeah, so, we literally, the season premiere and finale, like, we literally 5 episodes just saw him fucking go join up with the Borg to go hang out with Lore. So, like, and now they're like, oh, Data, you said there's a problem. That's fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Talk to Troy. And Troy, listen, Troy did her best this episode, and I'm proud of her. Do I agree with everything she said? No, but I'll allow it. Yeah. I'll allow it. I think she did her best. Well, to a point, I still think that everyone should have, like, put him in his quarters earlier. Yeah. And just be like, okay, until you, like, if you're still experience these fucking dreams, then maybe we keep you in this space until we figure out what the fuck's going on.
Also, like, the not the season premiere, but the season finale, like, Data goes to Troy and he's like, I'm experiencing disturbing feelings. And now he's experiencing disturbing images. So it's like, you know what?
And they're just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so actually Troy's not doing her best, but I love Troy.
Yeah.
Troy, you could be doing better. And listen, to be fair, everyone could be doing better. So that's the only thing I'm disappointed in. Yeah. Other than a couple minor things, but.
Behind the scenes, this episode was fucking infamous among the crew. I don't mean among, like, the Starfleet crew. I mean among the film crew and whatnot. It was known as the Cake Show. And the reason for that was that the entire idea about how to do the prop cake, nobody really knew what the end result was going to be. Because they had producers and the director telling them, okay, we want it like this. And they're just like, okay, well, we're making a cake. We have to be a lot more specific. Yeah. Because this is something that has to be, like, done and produced beforehand. We can't just, like, go over it and remake it, like, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we have
to get it right once and the day of.
Yeah, because, like, first of all, you got to bake this giant-ass cake. Although, yes. This requires planning, but if it were me, I would only bake a cake section enough for, like, where you're gonna cut into, and then the rest would be foam, and then you just cover it all in icing.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea.
Wedding cake style.
Yeah. But also, like, it's food, so it's gonna go bad, like.
Yeah. So the problem is that part was inconsistent.
Yeah.
So they weren't entirely sure where all of the cuts were going to be made.
Yeah. So
weren't
they had to
entirely
bake a giant ass cake.
Yes, something that would be difficult to refrigerate.
Mm-hmm.
So they had all of these problems, and on top of that, everyone from like the director to the set designer to prop designer and all of that, like none of them really knew the specifics about it. So in the end, they kind of just had to wing it a little bit, and the cake ended up looking way sillier than anyone expected it to.
I think it's great, honestly.
Because what was initially requested was that the cake be anatomically correct. And what Brandon Braga, who wrote the weird episode, wanted was for the episode to be, like, creepy. And so he wanted, cutting into the cake, he wanted there to be, like gore.
Boobs and stuff?
No, he wanted gore.
Oh, gore, okay.
Yeah, and
you know what? That's better.
Yeah.
I thought,
fucking,
like, sexual creepy.
No, that's Rick Berman. Rick Berman said no to the gore.
Yeah.
And so instead they ended up going in the complete opposite direction, and it ended up being one big joke. And they don't feel bad about it, but it's just really funny because there was a lot of like back and forth about like, what's it going to look like? What's it going to look like? And they finally get to it, and so many of the people on the set are like cracking up over it.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly I think it fits the tone of the episode.
I agree. I think it was directed in such a way that it fits perfectly.
Yeah, because it is a little silly, but like when you're watching the episode, it does not, at least to me, it doesn't seem out of place.
No,
it seems
I
like
agree.
perfect with the rest of what's going on. Like
Yeah.
I mean, freaking Dr. Crusher, like just having a straw straight into Riker's temple is also very silly.
Yes. Yeah, completely. Now, the thing is that what Brandon Braga was initially writing for, and obviously this is not what came up when it was directed, was he wanted the episode to be like a legit horror story of an exploration into Data's nightmares. And that's not what came out in the end.
No.
Now, I think he definitely had a hand in that because some of this is directing, some of this is just the way that it's written as well.
Yeah.
I think he didn't. He has written episodes that are quite unsettling before. Like the one about Riker in the insane asylum pops up into my mind for that. But this one just doesn't land in that way. It's a comedy.
Yeah, for sure. But it does a good job at being like comedy.
Yeah, I agree.
Or at least being like I wouldn't. Although, honestly, I don't know if I would call this episode a comedy episode per se.
No, but it is funny.
Yeah.
I do think it falls into the category that TNG, what happens a lot is, like, they're accidentally funny. Like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to be. They are just accidentally funny.
Yeah.
Like, the cake thing, honestly, didn't bother me. I didn't even think twice about it. I was just like, haha, that's funny. And that was it. Like, cake didn't bother me at all. And I think that I'm glad they honestly went this route. I mean, for my own personal preference, I don't like horror. So I prefer the like goofy, silly, funny route. And I'm glad they went this way. And like, honestly, they could have gone harder. They could have gone more silly.
The thing is that there's so much to consider when you're making a prop like that. So, like, one of the things that they were having a debate about is, like, well, if we want it to come out like this is actually Troy, then you have to make sure that her head is as close up to the cake as possible. So you need to build the cake around that. But then you have to prevent, like, her chin from, like, going into the cake. So, okay, well, now you have to have her further back. If we want her talking to Data or talking to the camera, you have to have her be able to bend her chin down. So how do we design around that? And there's a lot of fucking complications there.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I wasn't talking about the cake being sillier. I mean, like, the episode in general could have gone sillier, which is kind of funny.
That just came to mind.
You know what I did get a laugh at, which probably was not... There's a shot from like behind of like the cake, but it's just like Troy's hair. It's obviously, I'm assuming it was a wig, just from that particular angle, was just like a hair and then the cake, and it kind of made me think of like a Muppet.
Yeah. Yeah, when they the second time you see the cake, right? They have the reverse shot.
Yeah.
Because they
yeah.
obviously
When Picard and Geordi go in with him. Yeah.
They're obviously like, okay, we're not gonna have Marina Sirtis, be in this table for like these reverse shots, so we'll just prop a wig up on like, I don't know, maybe a mannequin head or some shit.
Yeah, like I just could picture immediately like that head popping around, like the hair just like popping around like Miss Piggy or something.
Yeah.
Just like the Muppets do.
Yeah.
And I did get a bit of a laugh out of that.
For the record, Marina Sirtis is almost always wearing a wig on TNG.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, and like I assumed so, but like this just looks like a wig. Like no one's head is in it. It just looks like a
yeah,
wig.
that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. I
In
think
this
they dropped the
particular
wig
shot.
for the films, but I could be wrong on that. Supposedly she stole the wig after she left the show and was just like, it's mine now. Suck it.
It did look good on it. It does look good on her. No,
yeah,
but
I think-
Dory means that it's like it's clearly a disembodied wig. Like
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I do think a lot more actors and actresses wear like wigs than I think people realize.
yeah, it's like just because it's easier to keep the hair consistent and stuff when you're wearing
Yep.
a wig.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, I did quite. Yeah, the cake I enjoyed. This I almost wish like they were doing something weirder. I wish there was like more weird shit.
Yeah.
I can introduce some weirdness to it.
Oh boy.
I think this is the first episode of Star Trek that technically contains Vor.
Oh yeah. True.
Who's Vor?
Vor
God.
is a...
It's a fetish, basically about like it's like auto cannibalism, right?
Yep.
Yeah, about like eating
my
yourself.
Oh, I don't like
Or I
that.
think there's different there's different aspects to it, because like some vor is like, oh, like shrink the person down really tiny and eat them, but it's like, but
I
yeah,
like it.
but yeah, it's like a like sort of a cannibalism fetish basically.
No,
Yeah.
I am not on board for that. Sorry to all those.
No one's asking you to be on board for
No.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. I love that no one's asking me to be on board because I am not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are internet degenerates, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, when you're an edgelord in the early 2000s, you learn a lot of things you wish you never knew.
So are we going to call this episode Space 4?
No.
No.
I don't want. I want that term
Star
to be
Vor.
disappeared. I want that term to be disappeared from my brain by the time we finish recording. I
That's
don't want to
fair.
know this. I do. I think I mentioned earlier. I did like how much how much of the crew was in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone kind of got some shit to do, which I feel like. I think that's part of why I really like this. Is just we got to see a lot more like interaction between different crew members.
Yeah.
And I like the show the best when it's literally just dealing with like our bridge crew cast with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's when it's the strongest of like the interpersonal shit, because I think the actors are so strong, the characters are all really great, and it just was really nice to see everyone interacting, even if it was like bizarre and like dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I did like seeing everyone kind of doing shit. And I also did get a little laugh when like Picard was like standing over Geordi's shoulder, basically. He was like backseat engineering, if you will. But and Geordi was like, Picard, like, fuck off in the nicest way possible. He doesn't say that, but that was
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
vibe.
He's just like, sir, you're getting in the way, basically.
Yeah, but it was nice seeing, like, my point of that is that was like, it was nice seeing Picard in engineering trying to like help.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was like switching around. I don't know, it was just really great that like literally I think like everyone was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, our whole gang was there, and I really hope that there's more of that in season 7, because that is, I think, my favorite shit is when the crew gets to do shit together.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on much. I know at this point to be jaded on what I want from TNG. So,
I'm glad that you've come to an accurate realization there.
but I can hope because I don't know what's coming up. So I still have that bit of hope. Let me keep
Yeah.
that little bit of hope.
But
That crumb alive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because I think that is TNG's strength, is the characters and the character relationships. That's why people got so attached to it. I think that's why it sort of broke out like into mainstream popularity.
I mean, it's the reason why I stuck around, because it's not the stories, I'll tell you that much.
That is very fair.
I mean, there have been some good episodes, but like, I've stuck around. I get emotionally attached to these people. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's not for writing quality. So, and I now realize I have now a surprising amount of TNG merchandise. I have
that's
three
true.
different. Yeah, I have 3 different wharfs.
Yeah, and you have your tray.
I've got my tray. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this might be the most merchandise I have of basically anything I'm interested in at this point, and I didn't buy any of them.
That's fantastic.
Everything has been given to me for free. Yeah, I was saying to I have quite an interesting collection of TNG shit now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The most recent edition, Jeff gave me a small little action figure guys, or like a couple inches tall, of Data, Troy, Picard, and Worf, which
Nice.
I have added to my shelf beside a disfigured little action figure of Spider-Man from my childhood. So they're really in good company.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I gave you the little Worf.
You gave
plushie
me a
thing.
little Worf.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me a little Worf plushie, and then my brother bought me a like Worf, like a action figure in like this, like it's very fancy packaging.
Oh, nice.
For my birthday, I think a couple of years ago,
You know
which
what's
is
so
pretty funny.
Yeah, you know what's so funny about the Worf that I gave you? Because it's like, it's a little like, how would you describe it? It's like a little chibi version of Worf, right? It's like,
It's cute.
Yeah, it's only a few inches tall. It looks like a little like a Weeble or something, right? So that Worf originally, it was originally released as a set with a Picard one and with an Enterprise that they both like sit in. But like I only found like the individual one, but that's like when that was originally released, that's how it was originally released as a set.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Which I find a interesting combo. To be like,
I wouldn't have thought Picard and Worf.
Yeah, especially to go with the ship as well.
Yeah. Well, now I'm just thinking, like, who would be Worf's?
Because
I feel like a lot of people you could probably team up, but like,
yeah, Worf and Picard is an interesting combo.
yeah. Honestly, if I like a Worf combo, you know who I'd want to see with Worf? Troy.
Yeah,
Because I always really enjoy Troy and Worf's dynamic.
I agree with that.
That's a action figure combo I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Actually, don't. I have so much shit now. Just Star Trek.
Yeah. Is this your hint that it's like, I'm good on the Star Trek stuff, guys?
I feel like the only thing I want to get now is I feel like I need to find a cool piece of art, but I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And who knows who you'll get attached to in DS9.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Hopefully not Odo.
No promises, because I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right.
He's a grumpy cop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just from that, I don't think I'll be that invested in a grumpy cop.
That's fair. You can get attached to the Ferengi instead.
No thanks. I got time to. We'll see. I never know. I mean, would you have betted that I would have like gotten so into Worf?
No, actually, I don't think so.
Because I think
I
now,
don't-
by the time this like ending, I think my favorite characters right now are Dr. C and Worf really tests me sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so I guess Dr. C might be my favorite character right now.
Yeah. I think I could have guessed Dr. C. I probably could have made that guess, but I don't think Worf would probably have been like the last on my list to guess for which character you'd get attached to. I mean, now that it's happened, I'm like, no, it makes sense. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought. Wouldn't have thought
Who
Worf.
would've thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, full of surprises sometimes.
All right. I think that's a good place to move on to favorite moments and lines.
Okay. I liked... There was a lot of things I liked. I'm just trying to track everything down. I liked Troy and Data talking. I liked everything with Spot. Doing like Data's time with Spot, and then like Data handing Spot over to Worf. I liked a lot, even though Freud is basically I almost said Freud is a fraud, which is maybe a little too on the nose there. Yeah. I did like that scene though, the Freud and Data scene. I thought it was really funny. I like that the whole episode Picard's like, oh no, we're being delayed, so I don't have to go, so like I'm not gonna be able to make this banquet. Oh no, that's horrible, that sucks. Oh no, but I'm so bummed. I like Worf and Riker, their little back and forth of about the music program that Riker gave Alexander. What Worf's like, it's screeching, pounding, dissonance. It is not music. And then Riker says, Worf, it's better than music. It's jazz.
Honestly, I think I'm on Worf's side.
No, I knew it was going to be jazz. In my notes, I'm like, oh, he's talking about jazz.
Listen, jazz is very... I will not downplay how much talent and skill and stuff it takes to play jazz, but I do not like listening to it.
That's fair. To each
Yeah.
their
Same.
own.
Yeah. I don't mind like a little like soft background jazz, but to like sit and listen to it, not for me.
Listen, to each their own. I liked the last scene when Troy gives Data his cursed Data cake.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly it. I don't know. There's a lot of good shit in this episode.
Yeah. I think I like all that stuff. I like, the fun... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and I just remembered Worf being so enthusiastic about cake.
Oh, yeah.
And Dr. C just like having a whole vibe of like drinking Riker's brain juice.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite bits about the episode is like just the silly dream imagery. I thought that was fun. And I think my ultimate favorite part was when Data is handing Spot over to Worf. And he's like, you must tell him he's a pretty cat. A good cat. I will feed him.
Yeah. It's so good.
But then Data says, like, perhaps that is enough. I'm like, no, but he still needs the water and the litter box.
Yeah. I like that Data calls it a sandbox.
Yeah.
Because when he said sandbox, all I pictured was like Spot sitting in like a sandbox.
Yeah, like...
playing like a child with like bucket, whatever, making a little sandcastle. Oh my god. It should have been very cute.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Data staring at Spot, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have done that with the cat. And most cats actually don't take well to staring, so I'm really impressed by how well trained this cat was.
Yeah.
In fact, I brought my girlfriend into the room in order to witness Data staring at the cat, and she was quite amused by it.
Yeah.
Possibly the only Star Trek moment she'll ever be amused by. So, I feel like I picked a good one.
Yeah.
It
is it is like a TV cat. Like it's been trained, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's not the first cat to play Spot, so there is that.
Yeah.
Spot has also changed genders, so there's that as well. I believe Spot will change genders again, but I don't recall exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. I enjoyed the Vor. I enjoyed the.
No.
No, that Data and the cat was my favorite part there. Good shit.
Yeah, the like, because I know some people don't actually watch the episodes, like they just listen to the podcast, but like go skip to the end and look at this Data cake, because like the Troy cake is like life size, right? It's like her torso, But the data cake is like, what, maybe 8-10 inches, and it has the vibe of a haunted doll. Like, truly.
Yeah. Yeah. It is cursed.
Yeah. For this, I'm gonna read the Netflix description and, like, modifying a couple things just to give you more to work with, hopefully. So the episode is called Dark Page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While establishing diplomatic relations, Deanna's mother falls into a coma.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I immediately have an idea. Okay, because Dark Page, I immediately thought of like a spell book and like witches. I mean, I don't think witches necessarily exist how we like know them within Star Trek. I feel like if there would be like a witch thing, it would be a different vibe. But oh my god, I'm so happy to see Troy's mom. She's a good time. I bet Picard will be pretty happy that she's not bothering him.
I will say, just so you don't go into this episode with certain expectations, this is a bummer of an episode.
Oh no.
Yeah, just so you don't get, like, you know,
I don't get excited about witches.
Yeah, so that you're not expecting something fun and then something, you know, and then a bummer comes around, you know?
Oh god. So wait, sorry, she's unconscious?
She goes into a coma.
Oh god. Oh god.
So yeah.
Okay, so I will leave behind the fun witch plot.
Yeah. You can still do that if you want. Like, you can
no,
still
but I
tell
would
us
be
what you're...
excited to see witches.
Yeah.
But if it's a bummer, I don't want it to be witches then.
Yeah. Like, you can tell us this is my idea for a fun episode, and then you can guess what you think the actual episode is. If you want. You don't have to. You can just
I'll do a real prediction.
Yeah, I didn't want to shit on, I didn't want to, like, ruin it, but I also don't want you thinking it's going to be, like, this fun episode, and then you watch what it actually is.
Okay, I do have a bit of an idea. Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit literal and assume, like, Dark Pages is from a book. And maybe this group that they're trying to I almost said diplomate with. Oh, what is that? That's not what I mean. To, like, you know,
Establish relations.
Establish relations. So diplomate. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Establish relations. That maybe there's this, like, book that is, I don't want to say cursed, because then I'm going back into magic shit. This made me think of magic. Okay, maybe they're trying to... Okay, I'm going to go real bummer / negative with this. So this group, they want to... The Enterprise is going to, like... Or not the Enterprise, I guess Starfleet or the Federation is trying to establish connections with. Maybe they... Luxana, like, comes across something that is contradictory to what they're saying. And if she says, like, oh, like, she's being her normal, like, very friendly self, but then she finds out this thing that they're basically lying about. And they know that, oh, if she says something, there goes their whole, you know, attempt at maybe joining the Federation. That's what I'm assuming they're kind of going for here or something. And they I'm gonna go a little literal, and they give her a book as, like, a pretend gift, and on the inside of the book is, like, poison or some kind of, like, sleeping agent or some kind of... I guess poison might be better in this, because poison doesn't necessarily mean dead. And she, like, opens it assuming it is a gift, and then that's how she's unconscious. But I'm gonna now assume that she does not wake up from it. And or I mean, you said bummer. I'm like assuming someone dies. And if it's the bridge, someone on the bridge crew, I'm going to be so mad. I don't want it to be Luxana, but like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting now. But
Your tray can no longer save you.
I know the tray I knew that I was going to season 7 with everyone, but didn't guarantee they were coming to the end with me. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. That they're lying, and she finds out their secret. That would be like a very big deal to the Federation if they found out, and they basically poison her with a book. Which now that I'm saying it, I'm like, this puts out the wrong sort of idea for reading. And I love reading. I'm a big reader. But
I love that you're concerned about, I don't want to make reading look bad.
But reading can poison some people's minds.
That is
there
true.
There are books out there that are bad.
I know you're not a horror fan, but there's many a horror movie where you're like, why are you reading the cursed book, idiot?
Oh yeah, literally. Like, listen, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Mummy, and when Rachel Weisz starts like reading, in the book, I'm like, girl, please, please, I beg of you.
Yeah.
The movie is excellent. The 1991 one, if anyone who's listening has not seen that movie, go see it. It is everything. It has adventure. It has ancient Egypt. It has Brendan Fraser. It has Rachel Weisz. It has
bisexual awakenings.
This movie will, there's someone for you to be horny for in this movie. There's someone for everyone in this movie to be horny for. And it's hilarious. It has some iconic lines. And maybe one of the most iconic line exchanges in the history of film.
Yeah.
So
a lot of vocal stems fueled by that line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I hear it in my sleep. River.
All right.
Anywho, thanks for coming to my recommendation of The Mummy 1999.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's wrap this up. If you want to see if Dory's correct in her prediction, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.